guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If this is your first time stopping by, hi, my name is Joses, and if you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for coming back to watch my video. I really appreciate it. From the title, you've seen that I'm doing a sit down and talk video today, and I'm just going to be doing the first times tag. That's telling you guys about all my first and my first time questions. I got them from the site I always get all my tag questions, www.tagnet.com, and I'm gonna go to link it in the description box if you want to hop on this tag as well. And without further ado, let's get into the video. On my list I have 25 questions, and just in case you see me looking down, I'm looking at my book. This is my YouTube book. This is where I wrote down the questions because I don't have another device. The first question says, what is the first app you check when you wake up in the morning? I think the first app, before I started doing YouTube, the first app would be Instagram. That's my small business at Shop Joses. If you don't know, I'm a small business owner. I sell trendy accessories for the bodies on a budget. I'm going to put a preview of my business page here, and you can check me out and order a thing or two if you like. Before I started YouTube, I would usually go to my business page just to check if I have any new DMs, new followers, things like that. But when I started YouTube, it was YouTube Studio or my normal regular YouTube app. I will go there to check how my video is doing, if it has gotten more views. I think the first app currently is YouTube Studio, and before it was Instagram. So the next question says, what is your first broken bone? I don't think I've ever broken a bone before. I've never broken a bone before, so invalid. 0. I've never broken a bone. What is the first foreign country you ever visited? The United Kingdom. I've gone to UK before. That's the first foreign country I ever visited. What is your first Instagram, Twitter, or Facebook post? So my first ever Instagram account is currently at Joses Loves Good Milo, but it's private and I've forgotten the password, so you guys can't see it. But I would dig out the picture from my gallery and just put a picture of it on the screen to show you guys my first ever Instagram post. Twitter, I just opened Twitter, I think in February or January, so it shouldn't be that cringe, but I'll still put my first Twitter post here. And besides Facebook, I've never been on Facebook, but just to cancel Facebook out, I'll put my first snap here for you guys too. So these are my first. The fifth question says, when was the first time you were allowed to put on makeup? I never really liked makeup, but the first time I put on makeup, I may put a picture, even though the makeup was horrible. It was my SS3. I was one of the queens of Red House for Inter-House Sports, so that was the first time I ever did makeup, and makeup was horrible. In fact, I may just do a whole lot of video talking about all my makeup experiences. They've all been horrible except for one. If you guys want a video like that, just drop a comment. Just drop a lip emoji. I'll put it on the screen if you want a video like that talking about my makeup experiences. But that was the first time I did makeup. I'll insert a picture. It was horrible. It may even look better in the picture, but it was horrible in real life. There's who is the first YouTuber you subscribed to? First YouTuber I subscribed to, I don't think I remember. I started watching lifestyle YouTube in like 2020 during the pandemic. That was when I discovered all these YouTubers. So I think the first YouTuber I subscribed to is either Stephanie Moka or Amy Okoli. It's between them. I think it should be Stephanie Moka, but it's between Stephanie Moka and Amy Okoli. What was your first ever cell phone? My first ever cell phone was Infinix Hot. The first Infinix Hot to come out was the first, and it was white. That was the first ever phone I used. I've used just 2 phones, that phone and then the phone I'm using now. So that was the Infinix Hot 1. I don't know if that's what they called it, but the first time Infinix Hot came out and it was the white one, that's the one I used. So the next question says, my first ever fear. I think it would be claustrophobia, fear of tight corners, because I remember when I was younger, anytime my parents locked the car and leave me and my sister inside, I was always scared. I'll feel like I'm choking. I think it should be the fear of tight spaces, claustrophobia. That was my first ever fear. What was your first language? English. Now that was my first language. My first language was English. I think that's even my only language at this point. The 10th question says, my first pet. So I've had just one pet, a fish. I remember when I was in GSS1, we went to an aquarium, and the token they gave us, or the souvenir they gave us, was all these mini fish pond, and I really loved that fish. I took care of it. In fact, the day it died, I cried because I went to boarding school and I left the fish in my dad's hand. So my dad accidentally left it outside, because we normally leave the fish outside for some time to just absorb to sunlight. So my dad left it outside for too long, and then the fish died. That's my first and only pet so far, a fish. What was my first thought today? Honestly, my first thought today was how to start creating these videos, because I filmed 2 videos today and I filmed one. I'm currently filming this one, so that was my first thought, how I want to quickly do my other things and then set up and start filming. Because I filmed a Who Knows Me Better with my cousins, probably up by now. I'll link it here. So how I want to arrange them to come and sit down and behave well for the video. That was what my first thought of today. The 12th question says, my first time on a train. I think my first time on a train would be when I went to United Kingdom. My first and only time, because I've never been on any train in Nigeria, but that was the first time I went on a train, when I went to United Kingdom. The next question says, my first toy. Will I remember this? But I had a lot of toys. But I think my first toy was a Barbie toy that used to sing and dance. This toy used to sing and dance. Is that or a doll? But the one I can remember getting first was that Barney toy that used to sing, dance, and draw. What is your first YouTube video? My first YouTube video is my new YouTuber tag. It's still on my page. If you haven't checked it out, I'm going to link it somewhere around here, so go check it out. In that video, I just answered new YouTuber questions, YouTube related questions. The 15th question says, the first book I remember reading, Enid Blyton books. I used to love Enid Blyton books. I remember I was always wondering what the name was. Gnid. I thought it was Gnid Blyton because there's a way they write their E that looks like a G. So I thought it was Gnid Blyton. But when I grew older, I found out that it was Enid Blyton. I used to read those ones that had plenty stories about fairies, goblins, before I started reading the mystery ones. But Enid Blyton books were the first books I read. No, I read some other books. I read Fola and Adogabi, that one that was green. But then that was the first book I know I enjoyed reading. My online profile picture, I don't know what app. I'll just say WhatsApp. So I'll just put my WhatsApp picture here. The first person I talked to today will be my sister. I talked to my sister today. She's the first person I talked to. Then my cousins, and yeah. The first thing I do every morning. So you guys, I know in my morning routine video, I told you guys that I don't use my phone in the morning, which was true, but then I've fallen back into this thing, using my phone in the morning. So literally the first thing I do in the morning is look for my phone, grab it, and then check what's happening. Before, I wasn't doing it. I would actually leave my phone, pray, arrange, and then when I finish my morning thing, before I would, get my phone. Sorry for any background noises, you guys. You guys are just going to, bear with me till I get a microphone. So, that's the first thing I do in the morning, which is really bad. I'm really trying to get out of that thing, taking my phone in the morning. It's really, really bad. The first wedding I attended, do I remember? I'm not sure I remember, but I think I have a picture. I was the little bride, or the flower girl. I was the flower girl in that wedding. I guess that's the first wedding I attended. My first internet activity. I don't really understand this question, but I would think the first social media. So the first social media account I opened was Instagram. I'll never forget. My Instagram name was Joe Bad 3361 _ swag. Abi Joe Fresh something Joe 361 _ swag. A very cringe username, I know, but I'll put it on the screen when I remember it very well. That was the first app I downloaded. Instagram, before I even went to download WhatsApp. Then Snapchat was like, I think Snapchat was even out by that time, but Instagram was the first app I downloaded. That I know. 21st question says, what was my first favorite or dream profession? Oh my god, when I was in primary school, I wanted to be a librarian. It may sound very funny, but I wanted to be a librarian because I loved reading books. Till now, I still love reading books, but I'm falling out of reading books now. But I love reading books. I would go to the library when after exams, when others are playing, I would read literally all the books. I'll borrow books from the library, bring home, return. So I was like, one day I was like, if I'm a librarian now, I'll just be in the library reading books every time. So the first thing I wanted to be was a librarian. That's the first thing I know. I wanted to be a librarian. It's very, very funny, but I had a valid reason. What was my first nickname? My first nickname was Jojo or Joe Fresh. My dad calls me Joe Fresh. My dad has been calling me Joe Fresh since I was young. So it's that Joe, between Joe Fresh and Jojo. Those are my two nicknames. And which nickname did I even give myself? I don't even think I gave myself any nickname. Okay, there was a time in secondary school when American names were in, when you have this Sophie, this thing, this nickname. So in secondary school, my nickname was Rhoda Landers. Don't even ask me what it means. I don't even know. We're almost done with the questions. The 23rd question says, what is my first favorite quote? I remember it was always act like you are wearing an invisible crown. That was my first favorite quote. I love that quote. I don't know. It was in my Instagram bio. It was on my Instagram bio. I was always using that as my caption. First odd smell I enjoy, the smell of raw meats. I don't even know, till now I still enjoy it. I like smelling raw meat. Now we're at the last question. The 25th question says, what was the first meal I learned to cook? Okay, Indomie. Let's leave Indomie aside. I won't call him Indomie a meal. Indomie is not even to me, it's like a snack. So I would say jollof rice. I mean stew. Is it that is stew? Yes, I learned how to fry stew before I learned how to do jollof rice. So those were the first meals I learned how to do. And that is all my questions, 25 questions. And so we've come to the end of today's video. But before I end today's video, I've been thinking of starting a new sit down and talk series on my channel. Then we'll be chit chats and we'll just talk about different things which youths, young adults go through, like body shaming, anxiety, toxic friends, different things. I've been thinking of starting it, but of course it's you guys I create the content for, so I want you guys to let me know in the comments if you'll be interested in watching something like that, so I'll get into creating those kind of videos. And yeah, we've come to the end of today's video. I hope you guys enjoy it. Please don't forget to like this video, drop a comment, subscribe, and check out my other videos if you haven't. And please like my video because YouTube pushes videos that have a lot of likes. So please like my video, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.
Crying Olive.